Hey, how's it going everyone? My name's Luke and I'm the creator of the Write Mango's YouTube channel. So this channel is an adaptation of my blog under the same name, where I primarily discuss manga, but I've also written about gaming, anime and other things that inspire me. Adapting my writing into YouTube videos seemed like an interesting direction for my work, and a fun challenge to try. I've created a few videos, but I wasn't really happy with them, and my dissatisfaction grew into frustration and I decided to just take a break altogether. I'm feeling a lot more refreshed now, and at the end of the day, the only way to get better at making videos is to keep making them, so I'm going to try and develop my skill once more. I do have a few ideas for this channel, but for now I wanted to try and make some videos inspired by the 30-day anime challenge. This challenge is primarily used by bloggers, and it involves responding to a prompt each day about anime. I'm going to be adapting the prompts to talk a bit more about manga because that's my area of interest. I thought it'd be a really good way to not only flesh out my channel, but to begin talking about the medium I love so much. It also gives you guys a chance to learn a little bit more about me. With that being said, let's begin. The first manga I ever read was Pokemon Adventures Volume 4 when I was 11. At the time I was a die-hard Pokemon fan, and I tried to get my hands on all products of the franchise. But really anything that combined reading and Pokemon sent me into a spiral. While reading a Pokemon magazine one day, I saw an ad for the Pokemon manga, and after 6 months of badgering it was in my hands on Christmas morning. While it probably wasn't the best that I started the series at the 4th volume, it was the start of a new story arc, so I wasn't really affected that much. The Pokemon Adventures manga is essentially a complete retelling of the Pokemon video games. It diverges completely from the anime, and all its protagonists are named after the games in the series. So for example, the first 3 characters we follow are Red, Green and Blue, named after the first 3 Pokemon games. Volume 4 introduced the character of Yellow, and this has continued all the way up to Pokemon Sun and Moon. We follow our protagonists as they catch Pokemon, defeat gym leaders and prevent evil organizations from taking over the world, all in the hopes of becoming the best trainers out. The most important aspect of any Pokemon game, anime or manga to me is world building. This is because it allows Pokemon to show off its most valuable asset, the Pokemon. The manga attempts to copy the classic shonen action template, but to be honest it doesn't really do it very well. The art isn't particularly detailed, and the pacing can be inconsistent because the creators didn't want the readers to have to watch characters grind for 5 volumes. But this manga, without a shadow of a doubt, has the best elements of world building out of any Pokemon creation. Though the art was limited, Satoshi Yamamoto does a great job of illustrating a world where Pokemon and humans coexist, as opposed to a world where Pokemon exist, but only a handful sprinkled around the world. This was also built on by trainer-Pokemon interaction. Until recently, I feel like technological advancements have prevented the mainline Pokemon games from establishing proper relationships between trainers and their partners. But this sense of connection, this indescribable bond felt between these two entities is skillfully weaved throughout the Pokemon Adventures manga. It becomes easy to understand why Pokemon fight for their trainers. Simply put, they're fighting for their friends. And together, these groups of friends work hard to achieve their goals, that is, being the best Pokemon trainers they can. Even though I was 11 at the time, I'd already reached a point in my development where I was ready to experience darker stories. This isn't really something you find in the Pokemon franchise though. As their primary demographic is younger children, the Pokemon company is limited in the stories they can tell, which can become frustratingly apparent for older fans of the series. This is also what made Pokemon Adventures so special to me. It took a franchise I loved and added darker themes to create a refreshing and immersive read. There were actual stakes, something you don't often feel in shonen manga. From the beginning, the manga makes it clear that Pokemon die. People die. Evil organizations actually do frightening things. It isn't a situation where a trainer who loses a battle can train again, become stronger and return to defeat their adversary. That could potentially be their final battle, their final moment on this earth even. It wasn't super dark, but its contrast from the current Pokemon brand meant it was somewhat unpredictable. I was absolutely obsessed with this manga. I tried to ration the volume out on Christmas Day, but every time I'd leave it for 10 minutes I'd have to keep reading until it was finished. It was like nothing I'd ever read before. As I continued to buy more and more volumes of the Pokemon Adventures, I believed it was just because I loved the series. But one day, when I went to go pick up the newest volume of Pokemon and it hadn't been brought in yet, I decided to pick something else out. I'd heard of a series called Dragon Ball, and so I picked it up. From there, I slowly realized that it wasn't just Pokemon Adventures I'd fallen in love with. It was manga.